Hello, everyone. This is Lola Rist with LolaRist.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I wanted to redo my video from Monday, my Facebook Live. You know, with Facebook Lives, you never know what's going to happen. And I had problems, and the next thing I know, I was switching things around, and I forgot to reverse my screen, and I wanted to get this fixed. That was my thing. So I'm doing it again. So if you're with me, I probably won't even acknowledge that I'm seeing anything. I am kind of working on short time frame. So let's see. I'll answer comments later, but I'm going to do the, what do they call it? The stack, cut, and shuffle technique. And that thing has gone viral. I had a teammate, Jonna Bixman Clark, shared it with our team, and she had seen it from, I think the lady's name is Robin Armbrecht, and I think it's really robinstamps.com, and so she, let me get it set up here, and then the volume will go. She showed it with us, and it was so neat. So, she showed it with us, and it was so neat. Yeah, and then my volume goes up. So I want to share it again, and this time I hope I get it right so that I actually have the stamps the correct way. I got to get that straight. That drives me nuts. So I'm going to start with 4 pieces of cardstock. These are half pieces of cardstock, so they're 8.5 by 5.5, and they're scored in the middle at 4 1/4. Then I have my black mats, and they are 4 by 5 1/4. And then I also have 4 pieces of cards of DSP, and they should be at, I kind of making sure, yep. They are at 5 by 3 3/4, okay? So here's how we're gonna start it. We have to start with a cutter. So let me bring my paper cutter in. I like guillotine cutters, oh, excuse me. I like the guillotine cutter. So that's the one I'm gonna use. I'm gonna share with you. Gotta move my camera back for a second. Okay, so we have this 3 3/4 by 5. Now, when Robin did it, she cuts all 4 at one time. So let me kind of get this set. Okay. All right. So she actually went all the way over and had 1 1/4 and cut it this way. I prefer to have the larger side on the other end. So she would have been holding on, and you hold on to all 4 of them at one time. You cut all 4 at one time. So instead, I'm going to reverse it, and I am going to cut at 2 1/2. And I have still 1 1/4 on the other side. Just like that. Okay? And you want to keep them together in the same stack. All right, now, this one here would be 5. And again, she had 1 1/4, and she was going to cut off. So I'm just going to come down, and I'm going to come down to 3 3/4, and I'm going to cut them. I'm going to set them off to the side, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. 3 3/4. Okay, so the cutter is gone. All right, so I'm going to have that as the first pile. I got to get them all in the right order. So we stacked them first, and they're all the very same piece. in terms of cuts. Then we cut them. Again, we cut them so that this strip is 1 1/4. This is 1 1/4. And so when I cut it at 2 1/2. And down here, I cut it at 3 3/4. Okay? Now we're going to do the shuffle. So we have 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to take part 2, and we're going to shuffle it by turning one piece, just one, moving one piece to the bottom. We're going to take this next pile, and we're going to take not one, but 2. We're going to shuffle it down so that we have 2 pieces to the bottom. And this one, we are going to take all 3 down. So we're basically just going to take it 1, 2, 3, and bring this one up. Okay? Now the process is that we're going to finish these up, and we're going to have 4 different cards. So here's 1, here's 2, a 3rd one, and a 4th one. And they all look different. They're all a different orientation of the paper. Some are landscape, some are up and down, vertical versus horizontal. Some are going to be all black and white. Some have floral, some don't. So let's go on ahead and get started. Let's take our 4 pieces of cardstock and fold them and score at the score line, which is 4 1/4. If I have anyone on here with me, I am not pulling up the comments. I'll have to look at it later. They're not showing right now. So I will, I need to get through this relatively fast. I have a couple of other things to do before we take off. Okay, so now I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to go on ahead and keep these in that order, and I'm going to go on ahead and glue down this first grouping. Now, I can change. I could go back and look at a pattern that I have. I could flip it over. But I really don't like that. So I might leave that one there, but I'm going to go on ahead and put these 2 back. So this one and this one, I'm going to go back. Okay. So let me glue. Ooh, I do like that though. I like this one. So now I'm going to have to reorient everything. So let's go with that. Okay, that one's going to stay the same. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay, so give me a second to get my adhesive. And I will put that here. So I challenged some of my followers to try this technique. And I have had several people who have posted cards that they have tried. So I would suggest you look down through on Facebook at the different postings to see where they have put their cards, because there's some really neat ones. All right, so there's one card. There's Christmas cards, there's snow cards, there was ones made with the peach paper. Patricia, you had 2 on there. I'm trying to think. One of them you had cut a different cut, and it worked. So there's multiple different things there. All right, so now let's look at this one. Okay, we have this piece. Oh, I like that. It's got a butterfly on it. And leave this one here. And let's do that one, okay? I know the first one that Jonas showed us were ones that had the pumpkin on them, and I shared that. I have some friends that are doing lots and lots of pumpkin cards. I say lots and lots because I don't know how many pumpkins they were cutting out. Okay. This one. So I happen to have an apple crisp in the oven, so if my oven microwave goes off, I have to sneak over and pull that out. It should be okay though, because really and truly, this is the hardest part and takes the longest. All right. So let's see if we can turn one horizontal. It all depends upon the floral pieces if they will work or not. All right, so we turn this one this way. No, this one's got to go this way. And this one here. And we'll put that one there. So that'll work. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I was having so much trouble Monday with Facebook Live. Sometimes it likes me, sometimes it doesn't. So this way it'll be fixed and I can put it up on YouTube. So a friend of mine used it. Sandy made Christmas cards with it. This pattern called, I have to think, Stack, Cut, and Shuffle. Only she said in material, they call it the Stack and Whack. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. That's a lot easier for me to remember than Stack, Cut, Shuffle. All right, so we have one that's going to be a horizontal card. Okay. And now let's do one more and let's make it horizontal, but let's reverse it and shift everything around. So we've got that one and this one. So I've switched it around. So it went from the largest square being on the far right, far left. Now it's over on the far right. So I've switched it all up. Okay. And there's that one. Okay. And then it's simply stamp and glue down flowers. So I use this perfectly penciled DSP, which is all black and white from Stampin' Up. It's in the annual catalog. And then I am going to add layering circles with black and scalloped white circles. Then I use the Hues of Happiness DSP. And the Hues of Happiness DSP has beautiful flower images in it. And I simply cut those out. And all we're going to do is stamp one greeting and we're done. Okay. So this is the worst right here. All right, so there's our 4 cards that we got, all from this stack and cut and shuffle. I wanted to stay stack and whack. That works for me. Okay, so we're gonna go on ahead and pull out my little Ziploc bag with all my pieces that I cut out. And we have 4 labels, so I'm gonna pull those off to the side. I have 4 circles in black and 4 white scallop circles. So I'm just gonna take each one of these and layer them on top of the white. I can't tell you the measurement. I didn't look to measure on those what they were. You know, it's one thing when it's the punch and it tells us what it is on the punch. I would anticipate that it's close to a 2-inch circle. And one more. Okay, next I'm going to take dimensionals and I'm going to very quickly layer these on the cards. On the back side. I'm just going to set it over here to the side. One more. Over here. Let's try this one here. The intersection. Okay. These. You need to try this. This is a fast. We're going to have 4 cards in no time. Okay, and we have one more here. So we're going to make it horizontal too. And here we go. All right, next we're going to put some dimensionals on the backs of the flowers. And just lay our flowers on here. Okay. I love, if you've not looked at that Hues of Happiness paper, go back and look and study it, because all of these colors come straight from like 2 sheets of paper. They are in there. They are just gorgeous. Okay, that one. And then we have this one here. Problem is sometimes it's hard to know exactly what color to pair it with, because depending upon how you cut the paper, different colors will be showing. You almost have to cut the paper first and then figure out where you're going to go with it. All right. Okay, so let's get the greetings on next. So we're just going to take black ink and we're going to just put best wishes, but this time they're actually going to read the right way instead of the reverse on the other video. And I'm going to hang some over to the side. Hang one this way. And then another one right here. All right. So now let's pair them up. So let's start with this one here. And let's go on ahead and just put it down here. We're gonna put a dimensional. Actually, we're gonna put two. We're gonna stack it. And we're gonna go on ahead and run a little tape. And I have the first card. Let's have the flower show there. Okay, and let's put this one with the hanging over to the far left. A little tape in case it covers up on the other one. We're gonna run it under the flower. There's a dimensional there. Okay, we'll do that. You can still see the black above it, okay? Then this one here, we'll just have it go across the flower, like so. So I'll put the adhesive here and I'll stack on this end. The reason you have to stack is, remember, you put the circle of the white and black, you put those on dimensionals, and then you put the flower on dimensional. So if it goes over that flower, it's two dimensionals up in the air. And you want to make sure that it will adhere to the card. So it's got to straddle and be on the same height. Okay? And then that leaves this one here. And we're going to hang it this way. In fact, we are just going to put this one flat. So you don't have to put dimensionals on everything. Let's see. Do I like this better up here? I think I like it better just because it shows on the black. If I put it down here, I think it's hard to see. So I'm going to go on ahead and just put it up on the black. Like that. Okay? And the only other thing left to do is to put some leaves with the flowers. Let's go back to the mini dimensionals, which I don't care too much for. A lot of people love the mini dimensionals. I don't know, they're just kind of a pain for me. All right, so we slide a leaf there. And let's get one over here. Okay, so there's one card. I should have timed this to see. It'll be interesting to see how long it took to do the Facebook Live, because they just go so fast. Put it on top of that flower a little bit. And then we'll put one here. Okay. Two more and embellish, and we're done, guys. All right. So currently, right now, this is October, I have mystery boxes going. Place an online order with LolaRist.com. If you find me, you can connect through my webpage to my online store, or you can look for me under my name. Last name is R-I-S-T. And my mystery boxes, place an online order of $75 or more and receive a goodie box from me. of all sorts of dies and dimensionals, dies and DSP, stamps, ribbons, embellishments, things that are retired. All right, and we are ready to embellish. Okay, so we're gonna take, since we have 4 different kinds of cards, 4 different colors, I couldn't find a embellishment that had every color in it. Now this one is Melon Mambo, so I found these. These are in the annual catalog. We'll put one on here. And we also have one that has Night of Navy, so we can put that one on this one too. Okay. And then we had this one here that has gorgeous grape on it. So let's slide those off. And it also had Pool Party, so we're going to use these. This one was harder to do. I have a teammate that showed me how to do this, and it works great. Except these are really hard to slide. She just kind of slides them off with her finger, and I'm like, that's so much easier. All right, so there they are. We're gonna look them all over. So we have 2 of them that are vertical, this one and this one. And then we have 2 that are horizontal. And we changed up so that the large square went over here. We could have done the same thing. We could have oriented it this way and had it down, except I had prints that had the big square up that way. All right, so that's it, guys. And that way now I can feel like I've done it right without having all of my stamping going backwards. That was driving me nuts. So hope you, if you're watching, I hope you enjoyed this. And check me out on LolaWrist.com. You can sign up for my email there. And you can also like me on YouTube and on Facebook Live. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.